I'm going to run through the sickness options within People HR. Within an employee's planner, you'll see there is a sick line. To enter a sick day, just click in here, and you will firstly see a Details tab. You can enter the duration, whether or not it's a day or more, half a day or quarter of a day, and then select the sick reason. Only administrators can enter new sick reasons. You do this by going into Manage This List at the bottom, and to add a new reason, just hit the plus icon. Enter what the new sick reason is, and then you can also select the type of verification which is required. The manager review required and the certificate required is if you're using your own return to work forms and self-cert forms. If these are actioned, when the employee is back from a sickness, their manager will be alerted to enter the relevant details. The include in absence scheme is if you are using the Bradford factor and you want this sick record to be included within that. And the return to work form required option is if you are going to use our own online return to work form. I'm just going to show you an example of our form. So what will happen when an employee is back from sickness? They will be notified to go in and action a return to work form. So they'll go into the sick record, hit return to work, and firstly they can select whether or not they have consulted their doctor. If they did not visit a doctor, state why not. And then check these relevant areas, so whether or not their sickness was caused by an accident at work or an industrial disease. In the event of vomiting, diarrhea, please tick to confirm that they're symptom free for a minimum of 48 hours. And then the employer will declare that the information they have given on this form is true and confirm they're fit to resume work. When they date this and submit it, their manager will then be notified to fill out the second part. So they can check whether or not medical advice has been taken by the employee. And then they have the options to exclude them from work until medical clearance is given, move to a safe alternative work until clearance is given, and say they're fit to resume duties. Once the manager confirms this and dates it, this will then record on the system. Okay, so going back to your sick validation, you can also select the default payment option for this sick reason, of whether or not it is unpaid, paid, or paid at another rate. With each current sick reason, you can go in and select the type of verification that you require for each. Once you have selected the sick reason, you can then put in the duration, and you will also see there is an emergency leave button at the bottom. If you select this, it will still record the day as a sick day, but it will take a day's holiday from the employee's entitlement. This option can only be selected by administrators. Next along the top you have an Options tab. Firstly, there is a Confirm by HR button. So once a manager has entered all the sickness, if you wish, you can go in here and just check that it's okay. If you're using your own self-cert forms and your own return to work forms, based on the validation in the earlier drop-down list we saw, once the managers are prompted to do this, they will enter the relevant information there. And if you're wanting to override the default payment setting, you can do for this instance. You have the return to work option here. And then you can enter any comments. Any comments that are entered by either administrators or managers, the employee will be able to see them. And then you can upload any files in here as well. Again, the employee will be able to see the files that you upload. And then hit save. For any return to works and self-certs that are still outstanding, you will see on an employee's planner at the top there are these yellow banners. These will stay on here until that sickness has been actioned.